Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. My name is Justin, and today we're going to talk more about the C8R and the fact that its engine style has been confirmed by GM. Alright guys, so Chevrolet's mid-engine racing machine has officially landed. As we all know, we've talked about it in a couple different videos, but while the C8R made a surprise pit stop at the 2020 Corvette Stingray convertible debut last week, Chevy actually talked about the details in an official announcement on Thursday about the engine in the C8R. Now, we've talked about this in a couple different videos and discussed what we think that engine is. And of course, we keep coming back to the 5.5 liter V8 with a flat plane crank. And Chevy basically confirmed that is in fact the engine that this car is going to have. Big news right off the top though, there is no turbocharger under the hood. It's just a naturally breathing V8. Per International Motorsports Association displacement rules, the engine is no bigger and no smaller than the 5.5 liter cap on displacement. The new racing power plant puts out 500 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque. That's actually 10 horsepower and 10 pound-feet of torque more than the 2020 C8 Corvette Stingray, without that Z51 performance package. So here's the even bigger news. Chevy also confirmed that this is the flat plane crank V8, but it also has dual overhead cams. Yeah, dual overhead cams. We are no longer talking about push rods in this engine. You could actually go as far to say that this isn't your father's Corvette race car. Now, we've actually talked about this in a couple different uploads, and we've discussed the fact that the C8R engine is likely to be very closely shared with the C8 Z06. And there's been a lot of rumors going back and forth saying that this was in fact going to be a 5.5 liter flat plane crank V8 engine, and sure enough, Chevy confirmed it. Even though we already kind of knew it based on some exhaust clips, it has now been confirmed. With this being said, it really seems very likely that the C8 Z06 will use a flat plane crank V8 engine as well, possibly with the twin turbo setup. I would go as far to say that the C8 Stingray is probably going to be the last engine we get with a pushrod setup from Chevy for a Corvette. Now, for any of you who have not heard the C8 exhaust yet, I'm going to put a clip in here for you just so you can hear what the V8 flat plane crank actually sounds like. Now, Chevy actually went on and confirmed a little bit more about the car other than just the engine. They also confirmed that there will be a compact 6-speed sequential transmission that handles the shifts. And the reason they made it so compact was so that huge rear diffuser was actually able to fit on the back of the car. Now, of course, improving aerodynamics, shedding the weight, and increasing the race car's stiffness were all engineering goals for the C8R. So a lot of the actual components had to be built around those to make sure all the aerodynamic parts would fit. Chevy goes on to say that the C8R actually starts with the Corvette Stingray chassis before it undergoes some modifications for racing purposes to make it even stiffer. It also sports a lower center of gravity, which helps with weight distribution, of course. Finally, the team worked with Michelin to develop proper tires for the first mid-engine Corvette race car. 18-inch Pilot Sport GT competition tires will be outfitted on the C8R. Now, of course, we also got our first glimpse at the yellow C8R, and it is actually right beside the silver with yellow accents that we have been seeing. So these cars will actually be both seen on the track at some point. One silver with the yellow accents, and the other one is, of course, yellow with some silver accents. We couldn't completely get away from Corvette racing yellow color for this car, so I'm glad to see we finally get a picture of both of them. We are going to have to wait until January for the Rolex 24 at Daytona to see how the C8R performs on the track. I have a feeling it's going to be a freaking monster because the C7R was always able to eat up the competition as well. I'm sure the C8R is going to be just as good, if not better. Chevy has also confirmed that the C8R will actually complete a parade lap at Road Atlanta this weekend. So if you want to see it a little bit earlier, tune in for that, and you're going to get to see that thing on the track for the first time. Definitely awesome stuff. I love what they're doing with the race car, and of course a lot of this stuff is going to filter down to the actual Z06 model, so keep an eye on all this stuff, guys. I'm telling you, it's foreshadowing what's coming for the end users as well. I think that's an absolute beautiful thing because a 5.5 liter flat plane crank with some twin turbos, we're talking about a massive amount of horsepower, a massive amount of aerodynamic goodies. It's going to be an awesome car. I can't wait to see it because if it looks anything like the C8R, like I've said in the past, it's going to be fantastic. But there you have it, guys. Chevy has, in fact, 100% confirmed this is a 5.5 liter V8 flat plane crank, naturally aspirated engine with 500 horsepower. So for any of you guys out there who were doubting this was a flat plane crank, it has been confirmed. There is no doubt left. We also get confirmation, like I said, 6-speed sequential transmission, specifically engineered to fit with that rear diffuser in place. So we have basically all the information we need on this car. Now we just need to see how it's going to translate to the Z06. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's upload. If you liked what you heard and saw, give me a big thumbs up. If you have any questions about any of the content we talked about here today, shoot them in the comment section down below or send me an email, horse.power.obsessed@gmail.com. and I'd be happy to answer them all for you. Let me know down below as well what you think about this new information. Do you like that C8R? Is it something you definitely want to see as the Z06 in the future? Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't yet, guys. I have a load of C7 and C8 content coming for you that you are definitely not going to want to miss. And as always, I will catch you in the next upload.